to my channel. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time coming here, my name is Veronica Daniel, and just in case you're wondering, I'm a Christian relationship blogger, and I bring to you the gospel and good news of Jesus through relationship topics or issues. Okay, without wasting too much time, let's dive right into the video. Today is about the willingness to choose God. This might not really be a relationship topic per se, but it is still essential in our lives. And even if we want to enter relationships that are going to make sense, relationships that are going to last, you need to understand this. Okay, so let's dive in. So before I start explaining what I mean by the willingness to choose God, let us start by this very simple example that I think everybody can relate to. So if you know, in school, in secondary school, primary school, when you were young, whatever time, you did not like maths, raise up your hand. Okay, you do not like maths, you do not like further maths, anything maths, you are just not there. They should not call you. But of course, if it's related to money, you are there. But we're not talking about the money now, we're just talking about maths. So I remember then back in school, like, I just do not understand why we had to do maths, why we had to learn maths. But there are people that, I mean, they are very few, and I think you can find them in almost every school, that love maths. They love maths, they love further maths. And at that time, classmates that would share this kind of concerns, like, they love it to the point that, we had first in maths, first in further. I was just wondering, like, where, like, how are they doing it? Like, how are they doing it? Because it's so complicated. And you know the funny thing, just like we on the other end feel like those that like mass or love mass are ritualists, them on the other end feel like we are stupid and lazy and crazy for not understanding maths. They would say things like, this thing is easy. Like, you just, like, it's not hard. Like, it's just you people don't want to get it. It's just because you people are afraid of numbers. It's just because they would do, everybody will have their own points. Okay. So why am I talking about this example? Because I feel like this is kind of how it's related to how we see God. Are you getting me? So hold on, don't get lost. So first of all, people on the other hand that do not just understand maths, we know the basics, we know plus, minus, bod mass, just those little, but let's not dive deep. Let's just stay on the surface. That is how most of us are with God. We are just on surface level. We just go to church once in a week, sometimes once in a month, sometimes when you have not gone to church, so like you've missed church so bad, and then you're just feeling bad, let's just go to church. But like, even those that even keep going to church, there are some people that is just surface level understanding. Like, there are so many things they don't understand. They only know what people have told them. They haven't gone deep to like seek for themselves. And if I go back to the example of those that love maths and love further maths, if you see someone that is trying to teach somebody, right, and that person is willing to learn, not those that are just anyhow, those that are willing to actually learn this maths and learn this further maths, and I bet you that they eventually break through, they eventually learn that maths. And whenever they start to understand, you always hear things like, I get it now. Okay, is that why it's like this? Okay, like, a lot of things for them just make sense in maths, and a lot of things click, and a lot of things that they now see how things that they were saying before, like why it's like this, everything just connects. That is how it is. So the people on the other side that love maths and further maths are those that I feel like have a deeper understanding of God, a deeper understanding of his nature and of his love and his faithfulness and everything concerning him. Using the same math example, people that don't really get maths, how they are comfortable on the other side and they don't want to learn maths. You know the thing, when it comes to God, sometimes just like how we see maths as really hard and we just prefer surface level, sometimes we actually see God that way. We feel like following God is so hard, and in all honesty, it is kind of hard, but it's not as hard as how we make it to be in our head, or how maybe people have painted it to us in our head. Following God is hard, reasons because Ani, the entire mankind was born into sin. The time Eve ate the apple and God said what he said about Eve, that she's going to have pain in childbirth and all that, and told Adam he's going to keep toiling the land. See, that was from that point that anybody that was going to be born was going to be born into sin. And what does that mean? That you are always going to have a constant struggle following God. Do you get what I mean? It will be easier for you to sin, because sin is more comfortable. Sin is what we were born into. We have human desires, we have our flesh desires. So with sin and the flesh desires, it's just going to be very hard to actually follow God. Because I know that growing up, I used to feel like, oh more, this following God no dey easy. All the commandments, all the do this, do that, so that you will not just sin. You understand? They'll tell you, if you do this, you go to hell. If you do that, you go to heaven. And it's, I mean, as a child, in fact, let me explain more how we are even born into sin. Because if you want to see the most selfish human beings, give birth. Just give birth. To let you know that children, they're the most selfish, and they don't know. But that is just, at that point, that is how their flesh is. Their flesh is selfish. And that means they are born into sin, because you are, being selfish is sort of a sinful nature, right? So, it is what we know. We are comfortable with it. So when we are trying to face God or trying to do new things, it's going to be difficult, because we are battling with what our own flesh wants. Do we get it? Whenever it comes to God, we always think is I have to, not I want to. Do you understand? I have to kind of create this negative emotion in you, like you are not even choosing. They just say, if you have to do it, you have no choice. If not, you are going to hell. Do you understand? So like we tend to, even because of that, I don't want to go to hell, that they say hell, you burn for eternity and all that, and then out of fear of not going to hell, you decide to do good, not because you actually know who God is, but because you are afraid to be in hell, right? So that deception has really gotten a lot of us into trouble, or into how we see God right now. Because when you get to know God, you will want to have a relationship. You will willingly want to do good. You will, like, sin will disgust you. Yeah, it will disgust you at some point, actually. And even when you sin, you be like, God, please help me. This thing is not easy. But God can see that you are trying to do good. You understand? So that's the difference. Some churches, they don't know how to preach it in such a way that we get it, that you want to know God, you have to seek God for yourself. It's not just everything. I'm not saying that going to church is not good, or you listening to a sermon is not good, but at the end of the day, seek God for yourself, because it's only from seeking God that you will have that willingness. You will decide to choose him. Because the truth is that every time in our mind, every time we go about our day deciding what not to do or what to do, we are always presented with the choice: will you steal or will you not steal? Will you lie or will you not lie? Are you going to insult this person and get angry, or will you just let it go? Every day we are presented with all those choices, and most of the times we keep choosing this one, choosing because our flesh desires are sort of attached to sin, and it is easier for us to pick this. Sometimes people don't understand that it is harder to turn a blind eye than to say, you know what, if you do me, I do you. It is easier to say if you do me, I do you, because that is what your body wants. That is just the natural phenomenon. I mean, in the jungle, you see how the wild is. I mean, lions protect their territory. If you are there, they are out for blood. Don't come near them if you don't want trouble. That's just how it is, and that's how humans behave. I know a lot of times, even in the past, I've heard of fear of God, fear of God. Don't you have the fear of God in you? Things like that. Fear of God, disclaimer, fear of God does not mean that you should be afraid, because being afraid means you have this negative fear in you that, oh, this person is going to do something bad to you. It doesn't mean we should be afraid of God. If you love God, if you love Him with all your mind, your heart, your soul, you will respect Him to the point that you don't want to do something bad because you are trying to please Him. Let's see it as, okay, normal relationships we are in, whether it's maybe the relationship we have with our parents or relationship like couple, romantic relationships. When you love somebody, when you get to know somebody and you're like, you know what, I like this person is a friend, right? Whenever they ask you to do something, sometimes it might be things you don't even like, but because it is them, you don't want to disrespect them. That's number one. You don't want to make them feel angry. You go ahead and do things. Sometimes they might not even ask you. Sometimes you just know what they like and what they don't like, and then you are forced to make sure that you don't do things that they don't like so they don't get angry. So the way we treat people is sort of the same way we should be treating God. So having the fear of God in you is not you should be afraid and you can't come to Him. Like, a lot of us mistake that term and feel like, oh, He's just, He will, if you sin, there you go to hell. We see Him as a warrior, Lord of hosts. Like, I mean, He's still all that. Some churches fail to preach how to make people understand that aside God being a just God, He's a father, He's a friend. So you can know Him deeper than just being a just God. You can know Him just the way you know your lover. You can know Him just the way you know that your best friend. You can know Him just the way you know your mother or your dad, that maybe you people are best of friends, your relationship is great. So that is it. It seems like I've just been attacking preachers for a while, but now it is actually time to also attack the devil, right? Every day we are presented with two choices. Whether you want to believe, whether you're ignoring it or not, you are always presented in your mind with two choices. One reason you need to seek God's nature is because the devil loves naive people. You see, people that are naive, people that don't know God, oh, he loves it because he can come to you, lie to you, even come in a disguise of angel of light and lie to you and keep twisting things in your head. Some messages you might receive, he can twist them around. It might not be actually what it is, but he will keep twisting it, and it will keep making you to resist God and to have a distant relationship with Him. He will keep painting this image of what God is not. Of what God is not. For the longest time, I did not see God as a friend, to be honest. The devil has lied to us so much that we think we can do this life without God. You're grieving, you say, God, why this person, why, that takes you away from God. You're hurting, maybe someone has hurt you from different relationships, is taking you away from God. People that are angry that they have not made it, that they are broke, that they are struggling, this, that. You are like, God, why is this? You now be comparing yourself to all the people you see on the internet. Is taking you from God. You keep the devil keeps making you feel like you need only yourself. You need only yourself. You can do it. If only you just be wicked. Don't talk to people. Don't share your plans. Don't. You can do it on your own. Well, I'm not saying that it's not possible to not achieve success like that. When you actually involve God in those things, like every little issue, you are going to Him. Say, God, oh, see what's happening. God, oh, I surrender to you. I'm like this. Like every single thing, you just give it to Him. You want Him to give you answers straight back. Life will be much easier. Having a relationship with God is not guarantee that you are not going to be successful. You can be successful and have a good relationship with God. You may not be that successful and still have a good relationship. The most important thing is that this life is not all about money. Because what then is the good of having all the money when inside you are not at peace? Inside you don't feel satisfied. Inside you don't feel fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, get all the money in the world, and if you're not satisfied in your heart, you will just keep chasing more money. Haven't you seen millionaires, billionaires that keep chasing more money? The one they have is not enough. I'm not saying that once you have all the money, you should just relax. But like, it's as if they are still not even satisfied a bit. But they just, they are not at peace. We need to stop resisting Him. We need to stop it. It's not by going through social media. Any Christian post, you scroll and pass. You scroll and pass because you don't want to hear anything. We need to actually stop because we have no idea how faithful God is to both the wicked, to both the kind, to both the good, bad. Everybody is faithful because the fact that you are breathing, that's number one. The fact that you wake up, you have no idea that we are so powerless. Even our ideas are not our own. To be honest, even our own ideas are not our own. God has given us gifts. God has blessed us with gifts. If you're intelligent, that's a gift. If you're creative, that's a gift. You understand? So there is nothing we have on our own that we can boast of. So stop resisting God. That's just what I came here to tell you. If you want to know more about His divine nature, how holy He is, it's not all about listening to what fake pastors say or people that they don't know anything. They don't know anything about God. Tell you who He is. Start seeking Him in your heart. Start praying, God, I want to learn to know you. Help me, help me, help me. Because eventually He will help you. Even that zeal, that want, I want to read my Bible, I want to do good, I want to fear God. It doesn't even come from you. That's the Holy Spirit. Because once God sees that you are constantly asking Him, that you want to know Him, you want to really know Him, you want to be close to Him, despite all the odds, you're going to unlock a new level of, I don't know what to call it. Is it spirituality or whatever? But you're going to notice the Holy Spirit more present in your life. And that zeal, you're gonna get it. I mean, to the point that you wake up in a day to not read your Bible. When you don't read your Bible, like, no, something have happened. I don't feel good. What's going on here? So that is just how it is. So even that zeal, even that willingness is not by our own power. It is still God that gives us that grace. All right, thank you so much. This video is long enough as it is. Thank you so much for coming on my channel and listening to this beautiful human being. Yes, my makeup is slaying. So thank you for coming here to listen to me talk and chat about God. I'm happy. I pray that this video has encouraged you in whatever way it needs to encourage you. And please share this video to family, to friends. Everybody needs to know about God, because each day we are on this earth is an opportunity. and like it's his grace and his mercy he's giving you to still change, to still turn away from your wicked ways, to still come to him, humble yourself and come and surrender. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.